friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alex and I'm so happy you're here. So today's video is the drugstore tag, as the title indicates. So this tag was created by Jen Phelps about a month ago, I want to say. I'll like link her video down below, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers kind of do it, so I figured I'd jump in. I am a lover of the drugstore, okay? Like, I just love drugstore makeup. In general, I just like getting a good deal. Like, this extends beyond the drugstore. Like, I feel like with clothing, I'm very similar. I just like feeling like I get good value, you know? So anyway, if you're excited to hear some opinions about the drugstore, just keep on watching. So the first question, I'm just reading off my phone here, is if you could only use one affordable or drugstore brand, what would it be? And it honestly has to be ColourPop. I have been on a ColourPop frenzy recently. I feel like every single new release they've come out with, I've purchased and I've raved about it, and I feel like it goes through all categories. So I love their base products. The foundation that I reviewed recently, I'm obsessed with. Their concealer is excellent. I love their blush, highlighter. I've never tried a bronzer from them, but maybe one day. Their eyeshadows are spectacular. Never tried mascara, and I am a mascara girl, but I like their brow products. Like, overarchingly, all of the categories that I feel like are hard to find a really good product for, ColourPop's just done a really excellent job, and it's super affordable. And yeah, I just love the vibe. I love their packaging too, which I know is a little vain and superficial, but it just looks nice. So yeah, I think it'd have to be ColourPop. The next question is, what's the most underrated drugstore affordable brand? And I think it's e.l.f. e.l.f. is unreal. Their stuff is so good, and it's like so affordable. Like, ColourPop is affordable, but e.l.f. is way more affordable. Like, where ColourPop foundation $16, an e.l.f. one is $6. And while I don't love the e.l.f. foundation, I have to say, a lot of their other products are some of my actual absolute favorites, and we'll get into that later in this video. But I don't know, like, e.l.f. is just so good, and it's cruelty-free. Most of their stuff's vegan. They're a super ethical company from what I can tell, and their prices are just right, and the quality is unbelievable. So yeah, some of my favorite products of all time, regardless of price, are e.l.f. products, and I just feel like they deserve more love. On the flip side of that, what's the most overrated drugstore affordable brand? And I still can't really come to an answer on this one. I've like been really thinking about this, and I just like can't think of one. Like, I personally just, if it's overrated, I don't really buy their stuff because I'm not interested in it, right? Like, if I think it's overrated. So like, brands that I guess I don't buy stuff from, don't really buy Revlon. I just don't. I'm like not attracted to their products. Like, it doesn't scream like buy me. Don't really buy a lot of Neutrogena stuff. Yeah, those are the ones that I can think off the top of my head that I just don't buy stuff from them. So I guess I think they're overrated because I don't buy their stuff, but I don't know. Okay, next up is, what is my favorite drugstore product for under $5? And it has to be these. These are the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. So I have 3 of them. I've got the cream and sugar one, which is like, here, let me show you. It's like this like beigey, bronzy kind of color story. Really like the shimmers in this one. I think they're really nice. I've also got the shade Truffles, which is like a darker brown, and I really like this one. This is a beautiful transition shade for me. This like lighter brown matte. And then this gunmetal shade is really beautiful on the lid. And then last but not least is my favorite, and that is this shade Rosewater. I wear this all the time. This stays in my permanent makeup collection. Like, I've never put it away since I bought it, and I bought it months and months ago. And I just love it. I use literally all 4 of these. I have quite a big divot in this matte shade here. And I think that for $3, this is like the most gorgeous rosy look. I like to use this darkest shade as liner when I use this palette. And it's just a great everyday kind of rose easy eye. And it's $3. So 100% I would have to say it's this. The next one is, what is the hidden gem at the drugstore that no one talks about? And I have a few of those, but honestly, one that I'm wearing today actually is this mascara that I was introduced by Sarah from my last video. We did a collab, and she picked this product out. She think I would like it, and excuse me, $5 for a curling, beautiful mascara that doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge. Why is no one talking about this? Like, I'm so happy Sarah introduced me to it because I think this is unreal. I've never heard anyone say anything about this mascara before, and I'm so happy I have it. And I do like trying new products, but I think this is one that I will always have on hand just because it's that good. Okay, next question. What is my favorite drugstore foundation? And I have to say, I can't choose. So it's either my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation or my NYX Born to Glow Foundation. I can't decide between the two. They are both unreal. I want to say that the L'Oreal one is the slightly better shade match to my skin tone. It has a bit more of a peachy rosy undertone, which really works well for me, even though it's still warm. And it lasts all day. Like, this one is truly, when it says 24 hours, I believe it. I mean, I've never tested it for 24 hours, but it's the kind of foundation that you wear for a full day and at the end of the day, it still looks good. But this one, I like the finish a little bit more because it's slightly glowier, and I love that about this foundation. So yeah, these are both so good. The next question is an interesting one. So what products do you tend to buy more at the drugstore versus high-end? And it's interesting because I generally buy stuff at the drugstore. Like, I just love drugstore brands, and in general, I just gravitate towards the drugstore. However, I have found that when I splurge for high-end makeup, it's normally for base products. So I've gotten a bunch of powders, some bronzers in the past, some concealers, things around those lines. And it's only when the product looks like, oh, that's totally up my alley, and I'm willing to splurge, I guess. But in general, I kind of stick to the drugstore. And I will only splurge on a kind of high-end product if I just feel like I absolutely need that specific item. Like, I'm a lot more conscious of buying high-end makeup. Drugstore makeup, I'm like, whatever, it's only a few bucks. And then, you end up with a huge collection, right? But I don't know, there's something about those high-end price tags that I've had such great experiences with drugstore products that it's hard for me to kind of spend a ton of money on a product that's high-end, knowing how a lot of my drugstore favorites perform. I don't know, do you guys feel similar to that? Maybe it's just me. What drugstore brand do you think is overpriced? And I have two. One I like more than another. So I think that NYX has become a little overpriced. I really do love their stuff, and a lot of their products are some of my favorites, but it used to be a lot more affordable. Their prices have been consistently going up, and sometimes I look at them and I'm like, man, that's close to a high-end price there, NYX. And I do like their stuff a lot. There are so many other products that I enjoy. It is one of the brands that actually, I was thinking, if I could only use one, NYX is one where I consistently pretty much have tried things in every category and they're all good. But it's a little expensive for what you're getting, so I don't know what's going on there. And then the other one is Physicians Formula. I like Physicians Formula, but I just think that their stuff's kind of expensive. I don't know, is butter bronzer really $16? Isn't that a little much for a drugstore brand? I don't know, just saying. What's your favorite drugstore dupe? And this is something that I've been hinting at for a long time, but I think I'm ready to announce that I think it's a dupe. And that is, I believe that this e.l.f. Sheer Tint Finishing Powder is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder, the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. These are slightly different shades. Let me show you guys. However, I feel like they set my eyes exactly the same. I reach for both of these equally. I think, actually, shade-wise, they're very, very, very similar. But they're both incredibly finely milled. They both set my eyes beautifully. They both last all day long under my eyes. I think they're the same. And that's crazy because this one's $45 and this one's $6. So, I don't know. Maybe I just think it's a dupe. I don't want to promise here that it might perform the same on you. But I have found that for me, these two do the same exact job and the price is really different. So take it as you will. I mean, I'm obsessed with Charlotte Tilbury. I love their packaging. Everything that they put out is my vibe. But if you're on a budget, this is pretty much the same exact thing. I've also heard that the No. 7 pressed powder, I forget the exact name of it, is also a dupe for this. So I might pick it up because I'm always on the search for the perfect under eye powder. But yeah, these two for me, in my book, are a dupe. Okay, what's the best drugstore eyeshadow formula? This one was hard for me, so I can't decide on one, so I'm gonna share two that I love. So the first ones that I want to talk about are the ColourPop ones. And in particular, I have 3 of their 12 shade pans. So I've got Miss Bliss, which I love, Soul, which I'm obsessed with, and then In a Trance, which honestly, I kind of got it thinking that I'd be more adventurous, and I haven't been. So I really should do a look using this up level shade and this crown chakra. I don't know, like I feel like I thought I would be more adventurous, and I haven't really used it too much. But the Soul palette and the In a Bliss palette, which are kind of similar-ish, I guess, in a way. Here, let me show you guys. Soul is more like coral and bronze, and then Miss Bliss is more pinks and corals, but I don't know, they're like kind of similar, but not the same. This one's a little softer, this one's a little more intense. I'm just obsessed with both of these. The quality of the shadows is incredible. The mattes blend beautifully. The shimmers just like give you the best color. I don't know. I just think the ColourPop has nailed their eyeshadow formula. And I mean, the packaging is adorable. Can we just appreciate how cute they are? I know that they come out with collections like all the time, which I feel like is a little exhausting, but I fall for most of them and I want them all. So maybe I'm their target demographic apparently that falls for all of their new releases because they're adorable. But the formula is amazing, and I want to say these are like $12, so super affordable. Then the other thing I want to talk about is actually what I'm wearing today, and I've been wearing nonstop, is this e.l.f. New Classics palette. The New Classics it's called. And when you look at it, it doesn't look like anything crazy, but I've been able to put together the most incredible looks. You've got your warm browns, you've got cool browns, you've got mauves, you've got a bunch of beautiful shimmers. These shades are to die for, and you can create so many like neutrally type looks, but that pull in all different ways. So today I'm wearing the shade Truffle, Darling Muse, and Rose Gold, and a little bit of this glamour in my inner corner and to highlight my brow bone. And I'm pretty sure I've used most of the shades. I've done a lot of looks with Uptown Earth and Platinum for like a really cool eyed look. I've used the shade Charmer and Cosmo for like a mauve look. This palette for $14, you get a ton of shades and you can create any neutral look you want, like literally any single one. And I will be so bold as to say the following. Next year, I have a lot of weddings to go to. I'm a bridesmaid at a few of them, and I just have like a lot of big events. And I've been thinking about like, what's the makeup that I want to wear for like these special occasions, especially because I have to travel to them. Like I have to pack a bag and like go. It's not like I can get ready at home. So I kind of have to be smart about what I pack. And I'm like 99% certain that this is going to be the palette that I bring for every single wedding. Because I feel like for weddings, you kind of want like a classic timeless look that's kind of neutral. And I think this is the palette I'm going to bring. I mean, these shades are absolutely beautiful and they last on the eyes like incredibly so. So this is such a good palette and formula, and I've been obsessed with it. What's the worst drugstore eyeshadow formula? I have to say Physicians Formula. I got it was either like the Sultry Days or Sultry Nights. I'll put a picture here because I decluttered them. Awful formula. Like for the price especially, yikes, like so not a good formula. Like the color payoff wasn't there. The shimmers were patchy. Ugh, like so not good. And I wanted to love it because the color story was there, but disappointing. Okay, so a drugstore brand that I used to love and I'm not crazy about, back to Physicians Formula. Like, I really liked their stuff a lot, especially when I was in college. I loved it. And over the years, I'm just like, meh. Like, the stuff that they're putting out is just, like, not inspiring me, I guess. Maybe my tastes have changed. I don't know, but I used to like it a lot more than I like it now, I guess. Drugstore product that I did not expect to like but totally wowed me. I have to say it's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I saw it a lot on YouTube, like back in the day, like old school YouTube, and I was like, I mean, it looks okay, but I don't think it'll work for me. Like there was something about the packaging that I was like kind of confused about, and I was like, it's kind of weird, but it's good. Like it is actually one of my favorite concealers. It's definitely like my longest standing concealer. Like, I think I've gone through a few of these already, like, over the years. And I want to say that it's, like, the only concealer that I've been repurchasing, I guess, that I've owned for the longest. And it's just good. Like, and I won't use it for like months at a time. And then I'll like pull it out again. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like such a good concealer. The formula's like really thin and serum-like, but the coverage is really good. And it's just like an overall like amazing product that when I picked it up, I didn't think much of it. I actually thought it was kind of a little weird, and I literally thought it was meant for old ladies. Like, I remember thinking that. I mean, this was years and years ago. Maybe now I'm the old lady. But so good, and yeah, I think it's a lot of people's favorite for a good reason. And the last question is my favorite affordable eyeshadow palette right now. And again, e.l.f. New Classics. $14, unreal quality. Like the amount of looks that you can put together with this are like crazy, and I feel like I had been gravitating towards more like fun colors recently, but this has got me back loving the neutrals and wanting to do like these like kind of smoky neutral looks, you know? So yeah, what do you guys think? If you had to answer any of these questions, what would they be? Do you like tremendously disagree with something I said? Is something I said like, yes, speaking your language? Let me know down in the comments. If you're new here, welcome. This is the kind of content that you can expect on my channel. So if you think that this is something that you're gonna like, then definitely subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, friend.